Stop adding services, start raising your prices. The one move that can change your firm forever. 4 out of 5 accounting firms will raise their fees in the next 12 months. The typical bump is about 5 to 10%. And here's how most firms calculate it. They say, well, last year we charged this. How much more can we charge? They look at last year's numbers. They maybe check with a couple of peers or maybe competition, and they land on maybe a percentage or a dollar. And like I mentioned, it's 5 to 10%. I did this for years. Every business needs more revenue, so that's what we do. Now, here's where that money actually goes. You don't just make more money. Your fees probably cover the increase in rent or software, maybe payroll. All of these increase every single year, and you work so hard to increase your fees just so those fees can go to pay someone else. They pay your landlord, they pay your vendors, they pay your staff, and you collected all this money just to see your profits either stay the same or go up by just a little bit. So this video or this training is to help you overcome this. The industry data tells me why most firms end up there. Of the firms raising their fees, only 1 out of 10 are doing it to grow revenue. The rest are just doing it to cover their costs. It gets worse. The other 9 know a small bump is not enough to actually grow their firm. So they go find growth somewhere else. They either add more services like bookkeeping, payroll, or CFO work. They cannot see a way to raise their tax prep fees enough to even matter. So they end up running these 3 new service lines with more staff, more complexity, and barely more to show for it at the end of the year. Even worse, some find other opportunities outside of the tax business, and they get distracted. You see, I spent the last 18 years in this industry. The first 12 of those years, I ran a firm doing thousands of returns. I ran this play for years. I'd try and bump up my fees just a little bit, and I'd get pushback, and I would settle for just enough to pay my expenses. I added services like insurance, bookkeeping, business formation. Revenue went up every year, net profit did not. I kept adding more work with no reward. In 2020, I figured out how to get paid what I was worth. I have since taught that exact formula to more than 1,200 firm owners like you. It is the most powerful thing a firm owner can do is raise their fees. And there are 3 things that are going to stop you from raising your fees the right way. And I'm going to walk you through the 3 things that are stopping firm owners from having this increase today. Let me start with the call I took just a few weeks ago. The call was from Mary, one of my one-on-one coaching clients. She says, David, I want to start marketing bookkeeping cleanups. She says, I know that there's money in it, and I know that I have an extra team member that has bandwidth to take it on. Now, this is something that almost every firm owner has to decide. What do you use your time, energy, and capacity on? Now, she wanted recurring revenue. So I said, well, Mary, when was the last time that you raised your tax prep fees? She says, David, I haven't raised them in years. See, what I realized when I was talking to her is that she didn't need more bookkeeping clients, and she didn't have a capacity issue. She had a pricing problem. The plan she walked in with, which was to solve a temporary problem by adding more services, was just chaos. She would have ended up with more clients, more complexity, and the same pricing model on a bigger book. You see, I learned this because I had the same problem. Back in 2014, I added insurance to my business. And what I didn't realize is that by adding more, you add more work. Training, renewals, compliance, service calls, the staff to manage it. I layered in a second business on top of my tax firm, and I collected maybe $8 to $20 per month per client that got on an insurance product. I did this for years. Then one day I sat down and I did the math on the insurance that I had already produced. And if I had just raised the prices of my returns by 15% across my client list, I'd make more money doing taxes than I would have just done insurance. So without having to do any more work, I could have made more money, but I didn't do that. That was the math I had been running from. In 2020, I stopped running and I started to raise my fees. Same clients, same work. The average return fee went up 34%. Net income went up 17% with fewer clients. The move is simple. Raise your fees on the clients you already have, not add services, not chase new clients, not build a new funnel. One conversation with the clients already sitting in your book. That is the lever. 3 things stopping most firm owners from pulling that lever and raising their fees. 1, your best clients are paying you a price from years ago. Most firm owners are running on fees that they set 3 years ago. See, when Mary and I finally stopped talking about growing her bookkeeping business, that's when it came out. Her top clients had been with her for years. In all that time, her fee had barely moved. Meanwhile, that client had been growing significantly. They had more entities, they had more complexity. There was higher stakes in every decision, more work landing on Mary every year. She was running her best clients on prices she set when the relationship started. She is not unusual, by the way. Most firm owners I work with are doing the same for dozens of their clients at the same time. 3 years ago, your book looked different. Your firm looked different. Your team was different. The one thing that did not move was how you charge. Your price is not a deal you made once and have to honor forever. It is a deal you renew every year by sending them an invoice. If the invoice is stuck at a number for years, you are renewing an old agreement every single time. Every year you do not raise your fees, your client pays less to the firm because it's worth less money. This is not a loyalty discount. This is money you already earn and you've never asked for. Here's what you need to do. Pull out the top 30 clients by revenue in your book. Write down their names and how much they paid over the last 3 years. The difference between 3 years ago and today, there's a number. That is called the gap. And those numbers are what is costing you. They should have gone up at least 10x by now. For firm owners, this is probably a 5-figure difference in fees over the years for those 30 people. And knowing the numbers is not the problem, to be honest with you. The reason most firm owners leave money on the table is simpler than strategy. It's just that they have a fear of losing clients. So here's what you need to do. I want you to pull your top 30 clients by revenue, and I want you to look at the fees over the last 3 years. And I want you to determine, have they gone up 2-3 times? I want you to know if they went up. And what is the difference? Is it $50, $100? Is it $300? And is it enough? You see, the gap between what you charged 3 years ago and what you charge today is missed opportunity. The bigger the firm, the bigger the opportunity. But knowing that number alone is really not the problem. The reason most firm owners leave money on the table is that they're fearful. They're fearful of losing clients. And that's why we hesitate and say, I'm not going to charge them more this year because I don't want to lose clients, because the more clients I lose, the more money I lose. The math on that fear is opposite of what you think. Let's run some math together. A firm with 100 clients at $1,000 is $100,000. That firm raises prices 30%. Say 10 clients leave. Now you have 90 clients at $1,300. That's $117,000 compared to the $100,000 that you made with 100 clients. That's fewer clients, less work, less pressure on your staff, but more money. More money. You see, if you fixate on those 10 clients that leave, you'll never grow. You should be looking at the 90 clients who stayed and are now paying you what you are worth. And the time you just got back from not chasing those 10, imagine that. Here's the part that gets lost. The clients who leave over a fee increase will never be your best clients anyways. They were your most expensive clients. Low revenue, high demand, always on the phone, never happy. You know those clients. Losing them is not a loss, it's a cleanup. You are running a firm that's run by your clients. You are holding prices down because you are afraid of what a small percentage of your clients might do. The fear is keeping you stuck. Industry data backs this up. The number one reason firm owners give for not raising their fees is fear of losing clients. 2/3 of firms did not raise their prices last year on clients at all. This was lost opportunity. A 30% increase with a 10% client loss is a better firm in every direction. More revenue, less work, more time, cleaner books. That's what you need to do. I want you to write down 3 clients that you're most afraid to raise your fees with. Next to each name, write the reason. If the reason is that they will leave, ask yourself, actually, if they are high revenue, right, and good to work with, they are staying. If they are low revenue and a headache, you should want them to leave. This list is probably the list you should start with right now to make a change in your firm. Now, once your firm accepts the math of fees and you get rid of that fear, what do I even say to justify these fees is probably what you're thinking. Do I have to do more to earn the fees? The answer is no. You already earned it. You just have to show them. Let's go into number 3. You do not need to do more work. You need to make the work you are already doing visible. See, most firm owners think raising their fees means doing more work. I know that. I thought this, but it is wrong. The work that justifies the higher fees is already happening. The clients just don't see it. And maybe you don't either. Back in my prep firm days, TurboTax was squeezing me the whole entire industry back in 2015. New clients started having conversations with me and everyone else about how $99 or free $99 was an option. We needed to raise our fees to survive, but every time I thought about it, I was thinking, man, these clients are going to leave. You see, if I raised the fees, I'd have to do more, give them a guarantee, add services, offer something new for a higher number is what I thought. Then I looked at what we had already been doing for our clients over the years. The phone calls in June, the IRS letter responses in August, the quick questions in October about whether they should buy a truck, the fastest response times that I could give them because I owed it to them, hours of real work for every single client year after year. None of that showed up on the invoice though. The clients didn't see it, but I felt it. I listed it all out, the calls, the emails, the contacts, the guarantees, the responses, and I said, how can I give this to my clients and tell them that they should be paying for this? And that is when this idea was born. Instead of doing more, just tell people what I did. And I put it in a package and I called it a Diamond Club. Now, everyone can call it whatever they want, but this Diamond Club was exactly what I had been doing for free, but now I labeled it so I could charge for it. It was the same work. It was the same team. It was the same firm. We just made it visible so we could charge for it. See, clients are not paying for your hours. They are paying for what they see. If the work is named, the price is set, 2 things can happen. The client values it more. You finally get paid for what you've been doing. This is how you raise your fees without doing more work. You are putting a name on everything you have already done and delivered and letting them know and see it for the first time. You do not have to justify this fee increase. The work already justified it. You have to make the work visible. Raise your fees. Don't do more work. That is the big move here. So here's what you need to do. List every task you did for your clients last year that never made it onto an invoice. The phone calls, the letters, the questions, the answers, the research, the response time. Write it down. List it and make your own Diamond Club. And it is the justification that you're going to use when you increase your fees. You're going to say, hey, we're now offering all these and it's going to cost you this much, typically 34%. That is your homework. Let's recap. You're missing opportunities here, and it's coming in the form of prices that you set years ago and haven't changed. It's coming because of the conversations you've been putting off because you're afraid that people will leave. It's in the work that you've been doing for free and no one has ever put it on an invoice to charge to a client. You see, the money is already in your book. You just need to ask for it. Mary didn't go chase more bookkeeping clients. She raised her fees on her existing clients, and that tax season, she made $54,000 more than she did the year before by not changing anything. No additional work, no new staff members who are needed to do anything. See, the capacity problem and the revenue problem didn't exist for Mary, and they don't exist for you. The same move is what you need to do. The firms that build their pricing right have found the lever to growth. Once you get this right and you're ready, there is one service worth building your firm around, not another one to add. So it's the one that makes you the most money, the one that allows you to take on fewer clients and spend more time on the things you enjoy doing. This is called tax advisory. And if you're wanting to grow your firm, like the 1,200 other firms that I've helped grow and scale their advisory practice, If your firm is making more than $200,000 in revenue and you're tired of adding services or not being able to charge exactly what you are worth, then this is exactly where you need to be. Join us in the Tax Maverick community. Click on the link in the description and book a call with my team to see how we can help you increase your fees and offer advisory in your business.